Let's cross straight to Tel Aviv now on the programme. Our reporter Claire Paccalin is there. She's in Tel Aviv for us this afternoon. Claire, good to talk to you. I understand you've been speaking to families of hostages today. What have you been hearing from them?
Well, here I am, Nadia, in an area that's been now called Hostages Plaza, and this is just opposite main military headquarters here in Tel Aviv, and it's a place where the family members of those who were taken hostage by Hamas, they've come here to pray together, to speak to each other, to grieve together. They've even set up a large Shabbat meal table with 240 empty seats. Some child high chairs are among those seats as well, because we know that children were taken hostage by Hamas too. And of course, that's been an opportunity for us to speak to people, family members, who've told us that it's been an absolute roller coaster these last few days with this possible deal being signed. They were hopeful that some hostages, 50, they believe, mostly women and children, would be released by Hamas in exchange for 150 Palestinian prisoners who are currently in Israeli jails. But then the deal being postponed a day. People here telling me that they are optimistic. They have to be optimistic. They have to be hopeful. But this has been a very up and down situation. It's important to note as well that the pressure that the family members of hostages here in Israel have been putting on the Israeli government has really shifted, really pushed up this issue to the top of the agenda. The issue of bringing home the hostages has now become politically really important to the Israeli government, to the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Bringing back these Israelis who are being held now in Gaza by Hamas has become a big priority, and a lot is at stake here.
And Claire, as you say, no truce means an agonising wait for the families of hostages where you are. And it also means yet more suffering for the millions of people who are trapped in Gaza.
Absolutely. We were speaking earlier today with a journalist in the south of Gaza who we've spoken to a lot recently, and he told us that people, of course, were really happy when they heard news of a temporary ceasefire. They felt perhaps they might just get a breather from the bombings. Of course, we know, the north of Gaza is now largely in ruins. The Israeli army still operating there. So this temporary ceasefire is absolutely not in place in Gaza. People there still desperately in need of enough food, clean water, medical supplies, and they were hoping that this temporary ceasefire, this was supposed to be a good piece of news for them, and they are still waiting. So an agonizing wait for the families of the hostages, also a wait for the families of Palestinian prisoners who are hoping that their loved ones will be able to come home too. We know that that's this ratio of 1 Israeli hostage to 3 Palestinian prisoners. So we're looking at a swap of 50 hostages for 150 Palestinian prisoners. But of course, I was just speaking to someone here, one of the people who have been helping families come here and sort of giving them a structure and a base here at the Hostages Plaza, as it's now known here. And she told me, we won't be able to believe this until we see it, and we don't know who is on that list, the 50 names on the list of Israeli hostages. And we know that the government, she was telling us, the Israeli government will not give false hope to families. And so until those hostages are in the hands of the Israeli authorities, they will not tell the families that their loved ones are safe. They will wait until those hostages are absolutely safe and sound before they tell any families, so as not to raise false hopes.
All right, much riding on the next 24 hours then. Thank you very much indeed, Claire Paccalin, for us in Hostage Square, Tel Aviv.